Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Let's get to the news. What a weekend for the Cleveland Browns, folks. If you weren't tuned in already, you missed a significant moment in our season. A big win on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. A game that not only boosted our record, but also threw some serious questions into the air about the future of our quarterback situation. And it's all centered around Shedeur Sanders, who made his first NFL start, and let me tell you, he made it a memorable one. With Dylan Gabriel sidelined due to concussion protocol, Sanders had his shot, and he took it with both hands. The young quarterback played smart, managed the game well, and helped the Browns secure a critical 24-10 victory. Sanders' debut wasn't just a flash in the pan, it was a statement. He finished with an efficient 11 of 20 passing for 209 yards, a touchdown and an interception, but it was his calmness and decision-making that really caught the eye. For Browns fans, that's exactly what we've been waiting for, a quarterback who can step up in tough situations, show composure, and make those throws when it counts. And he did just that, proving that he's got the potential to be our franchise quarterback. Now fans are already buzzing, and it's no surprise. There's a lot of chatter about whether Sanders should be the guy moving forward, especially after this performance. And honestly, Browns insider Jason Lloyd from The Athletic didn't hold back. He's all in on Sanders being the future of this team. Lloyd pointed out that Sanders might be the only hope for Cleveland's quarterback position if we want to contend at a high level. He emphasized that if we don't give Sanders a real shot, we're going to have to look elsewhere, whether that's through trades, free agency, or the draft again next spring. And that's where things get interesting, because Lloyd also pointed out that next year's crop of quarterbacks in the draft might be more plentiful than this year's rookies. But they're still not the elite passers we need to really push us over the top. So the Browns finding a reliable young quarterback like Sanders could be a game changer, especially when considering how the draft landscape is shaping up. But of course, nothing is set in stone just yet. The win over the Raiders, as much as it's a boost, also complicates our draft positioning. It's true, a victory like that bumps us away from the top 2-3 picks, which could be crucial if we're thinking about a franchise-changing quarterback in the draft. So the Browns are in this interesting position where they have to weigh the potential of Sanders against the long-term strategy of building through the draft. And speaking of the future, it's clear that the coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, is still undecided. After the game, Stefanski was asked directly about who will be the starting QB next week, and he didn't give a definitive answer. Instead, he kept it open, saying he's proud of Sanders and the offense but isn't ready to name a starter just yet. That kind of cautious approach isn't surprising. After all, Stefanski knows how much is riding on each decision, especially when it comes to a young quarterback like Sanders. But you can bet that inside the locker room, there's a lot of buzz about giving this kid more opportunities. Sanders himself is riding high after this debut, and he made it clear that he's motivated by the doubt and skepticism he faced. He said a lot of people wanted him to fail, but he's here to prove them wrong. And honestly, that kind of attitude is exactly what this team needs. When you look at his words, you see a young player who's hungry, who understands what's at stake, and who's eager to show that he belongs. A lot of people wanted to see me fail, and it ain't going to happen, Sanders said with conviction. And you can tell he's not just talking, he's got the confidence that he can be a significant piece of the Browns' future. He also reflected on his journey, saying that coming from a backup role, he had to learn how to adjust, how to keep his personality in check, and how to respect the process. But now, with this opportunity, he's able to show everyone who he really is. And that's a big deal for Browns fans who have been waiting for a true leader under center. Being a backup and everything, sometimes you have to compromise your personality and change the way you do things to never step on anybody's toes, Sanders explained. The fact that I got an opportunity and I was able to show the organization, show everybody who I really am, it's truly exciting. I was off balance for a little bit the past couple of months of my life, but it was different. But I'm thankful to be back where I am. And that's the kind of attitude that can really rally our fan base. Seeing Sanders come out and say he's thankful for this shot, eager to prove himself, and ready to take on the challenge, it's exactly what we need to see from our young guns. Our Browns are still trying to find consistency, especially with our record at 3-8. But this win and Sanders' performance injects some hope and excitement into what has been a roller coaster of a season. Looking ahead, the Browns are preparing to face the San Francisco 49ers in Week 13, a tough test, no doubt. But if Sanders continues to develop, if he gains more confidence and chemistry with our offense, there's no reason we can't keep competing. Fans are dreaming of what this team could become with a stable quarterback situation, and Sanders' emergence might just be the spark we needed. Of course, there are still questions. Will Sanders be the starter next week? Will the coaching staff trust him enough to give him that role for good? These are debates that will continue to swirl around Berea, but for now, the focus is on the future. We've seen flashes of brilliance, moments that remind us why we're Browns fans, passionate, resilient, hopeful. And as we continue through this season, every game, every drive, every throw from Sanders will be scrutinized and analyzed. Browns fans are known for their passion, and we're all eager to see if this young quarterback can sustain this momentum and lead us to victories that count. We've been waiting for a quarterback like Sanders, someone with the talent, the moxie, and the mental toughness to carry us forward. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking at the bigger picture, it's clear that what we're seeing now is more than just a fleeting moment. Sanders' debut has reignited some hope, and whether he remains the starter or not, he's shown enough to keep the conversation alive. Browns fans, we've been through a lot ups and downs, coaching changes, quarterback shuffles, but this season feels different. There's a sense that maybe, just maybe, we're on the cusp of something special. The road ahead isn't easy. We've got tough games, like facing the 49ers next, with a defense that's among the best in the league and a team that's been a Super Bowl contender for years. But if Sanders can continue to grow, if he keeps showing that he can handle the pressure and make those clutch throws, then the Browns might just have found their guy. And that's what Browns country craves: stability, leadership, and a quarterback who can carry us into the postseason. In the end, the story isn't just about one game. It's about hope, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of excellence that defines us as Browns fans. We root for our team through thick and thin, and right now, we're rooting hard for Sanders to keep this momentum going. The future is unwritten, but the spark is there, and it's enough to keep us dreaming of February football. So Browns fans, let's keep the faith, keep supporting our guys, and stay tuned for what's next. Because if Sanders can keep this up, if our defense steps up like they did against the Raiders, we might just surprise everyone and make some noise down the stretch. And you know what? That's what being a Browns fan is all about: believing in the impossible, fighting through adversity, and never giving up. The season's far from over, and with Sanders leading the charge, we've got every reason to be optimistic. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.